Hi guys, welcome to this lecture. From this very lecture, we are going to start learning the jQuery user interface. So first of all, what is the jQuery user interface? jQuery uh, user interface is just related to the user interface. Here you see that this is the screen that we can see these are the logos and the text. So this is all the user interface. Like here you can see that this is the notepad plus plus. So this is its interface, and behind this interface we have the codes and the other things. So now we are going to talk about the interface, the user interface that we can create by using the jQuery. So first of all, what kind of user interface we can build with the jQuery? So now here is the first user interface that I have built. Here you see that this file, I have already built this user interface, but here I'm just giving you the idea of what user interface we are going to build. Here you see that we can drag this element anywhere in the page, and when we leave it, so it will again go to its uh, previous position. And here you see that there is the list. When we can take it here, and here you see that when we take it here, so its border is changed. So these are the user interface. Here you see that we can add the list like this, and there is another list. Here you see that. So these are the user interface, and these are the two lists, so we can update the list or sort out the list. So these are just the user interface. I will go into the explanation of this user interface. This is another user interface, like menu, likes, sidebar. All of these interfaces are created by the jQuery. And this is the range. Here you can see that we can select the range. Many websites where we can buy the things that are online shopping websites. So these websites have the range. We can select the range. So here this is that application, and this is another. When we click on the button on many pages, so we can save the information. So this pop-up box is also created by the jQuery user interface. And here you see that this is the little menu. Here is like this, and here you see that this page is not found. I will build all these things. I'm just giving you the idea what we will do in the jQuery user interface. Here when we upload the file, so this progress bar, we will also build this progress bar. And then here is the div, so we can increase or decrease it. So here its shadow is present, and so we will build all of these things. And then here is the date user interface. This is the date, this is related to the date, and we can find the today date. So these are all the user interfaces, and we are going to build these interfaces. So before start building these interfaces, what we need to do, we have to include the user interface library, jQuery user interface library. Like here, this is one of the file. I'm going to close it, and here you see that this is the file. This is the default. This is the code that I have already written in every file, and I'm going to save it. Or save it later. So here you can see that this is just a library that we have included. This is the jQuery library. This is just a simple code. But now we want to build the user interface. We want to build some functionalities that include the animations. So for creating the animations like and user interface things, we need the jQuery user interface library. So how we can download it? Here is, I'm going to close some of these files. Here is, we will build all of these things. So here in the Google bar, in the search bar, you have to write jQuery user interface. Here is user interface, and here is the jQuery UI is open. This is a website. From this website you have to download it. It is free, and it is just a library to create the user interface. And here are the variants. Go to the custom download, and it is opening, and here you see that uh, here are the different variants of the jQuery user interface. You can download any variant, but here is I'm gonna download this variant 1.11.4. So now here you have to select this 1.11, or you can download the latest variant that is stable, because it is the stable and it is not under construction or the production. This is the release candidate. Maybe it will not be stable or anything, but I'm going to use this 1.11. And when you select this thing, so you have to select all of these checkboxes. So how you can select it? By selecting this checkbox, you can select all of these checkboxes. All of these functionalities will download in this jQuery user interface. Then you have to click on download. It is start going to download, and here it is download. Here I'm going to set its path, and you don't need any local host for it, and you just need to place it wherever we want. I'm going to place it in the JS folder where we have the jQuery library file, and in that folder download it. Here it is downloaded, and open the folder. And now this RAR file, WinRAR file is downloaded. Now what you need to do, you just need to right click on it and extract here. And here is the folder is extracted. Here I'm going to download it, delete it. And now this is the folder, and in this folder you can see that there are many files, and you don't need to do anything with these files. This is the complete jQuery user interface. So the file that we want is the two files that we want. First file is this jQuery user interface, that is here. jQuery user interface, this is the cascading style sheet. This is the CSS type file. And the second file is this jQuery user interface JavaScript file. So we need only these two files, and there are also a compressed version of these files, that is here. CSS file also have the compressed version, and this JavaScript file also have the compressed version. This is the min stand for the compressed version, so we can use any of these files. And now first of all, what we need to do, this is the jQuery user interface, and this is the CSS file. We need this CSS file where we want to do some color related things. So where we want to create the progress bar, options that I have shown you, or the calendar, because in the calendar there are colors. So we need this file, CSS file. And otherwise all the things that have not involved the color, we can do these things with this file. This is JavaScript file, jQuery user interface. These are the things that are without color, and this is in the user interface. So now let's do this. And here is, first of all, first thing that I'm going to build is this thing. Here I'm going to close all these things. Here is, you see that this is the span. This is the span have the text. You can write any text, and we can select it and we can drag it. And when we are dragging it, here you see that the text is dragging, and when we leave it, here you see that it will again to its position and dragging stop. And here you see that this is just a file. It have the simple code. This is a jQuery library file and all of these things, you know. And now I'm going to save this file, and I will add the jQuery user interface in it. And here is the recent places, and here in the development folder we have our files, and we don't need to place these files into the local host, into the server. These are the normal files. And here is 128, and here is first thing, draggable UI.html, because at the first we will create a user interface that is draggable. And here is the file. I'm going to open it. Here you see that this is the file that I have created, and now render it. It have nothing. And now in this file, what we need to do, we have to include this JavaScript file, jQuery user interface JavaScript file, or we can also include its compressed variant that is here. So here is this folder. Here I'm going to change its name. Here is, I'm going to change its name to the jQueryUI, this folder name, and this folder is placed inside the JS folder. So now I'm going to include it, that file. Here is, copy this, and here you have to give the different address of the file. Here is dot, in the JS folder we have the jQuery UI folder. Here is UI folder, and I'm gonna check it, is it correct? Here is, it is correct, jQuery UI folder. And then we have a file. Here is, we have to copy that file name. We can include this file, that is the compressed variant, that is the uncompressed variant. So here I'm going to include the compressed variant. Here is, copy it, name, and here is, paste it here, and dot JS. So now it will that user interface will link to this file. And now I hope it will work. If it not work, then there is an error. And here and don't move these files, don't move these files in any folder. If you want to move these files from this folder so it will not work correctly, always move this folder. Whatever you want to do, you have to done those things with this folder. If you want to place the files at this different place, so you have to place the complete folder at the different place. And now all the things are okay. Inside it, this is just a normal file, user interface is added, and now we are going to build a functionality like this of the dragging functionality. Now we will build the functionality in from the next lecture, that is draggable functionality. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video.